Hello indie warriors, Tangwystle here. Today we have a casual indie adventure game for you called Lifeslide. In it, you fly a paper airplane through various zones. As you're flying through the environment, you can collect yellow gems to increase your timer, or blue gems to increase your various stats. These stats are pretty much what you'd expect in a game like this, with speed, steering, lift, and integrity. I really liked the fact that the upgrade system was universally applied. You didn't have to sit there and upgrade each plane individually. Like the upgrade system, the controls are very straightforward and pretty much what you'd expect from a game like this. WASD will get you where you want to go, and you can activate special bonus items with spacebar. The game does have full controller support, but I couldn't find the cord for my controller, so I wasn't able to actually test that part. Still, even with mouse and keyboard, the controls did feel very responsive. Simple input, refined outcome, as the devs put it, and that feels like a very good way to describe this combination of physics and arcade logic. The game has 3 modes: story, zen, and competitive. In the story mode, you'll fly through a preset arrangement of the game's 28 levels. Each zone in the game has a simple title like breathing, yearning, fighting, or healing. The game's developers described the story as being implicitly told through the environment. Personally, it felt less like a story and more like a collection of thematic elements for a story. The core of the game is definitely more the atmosphere and the experience. Visually, I really enjoyed the aesthetic in this game for the most part. It is made on Unity and has that distinctive graphic style, but I feel like the devs did a good job of embracing the style and making it very charming, sometimes even beautiful. Overall, the game was very, very bright. Little too bright for my taste. However, the developers were aiming for a vibrant game and they definitely hit the mark on that. Despite being a little too bright for me, I did really enjoy the giant fruits and flowers and the landscapes themselves, which varied widely. There were forests, rivers, mountains, some snowy, some volcanic. Some of the zones had environmental hazards like avalanches in the snowy mountains and carnivorous paperivorous, whatever you want to say it, plants that were trying to eat you as you flew by. I also noticed a steady increase in difficulty and navigation as I proceeded through the levels, and I kinda wish they had had a difficulty setting in the options that I could have adjusted. Audio-wise, the music was good, but a little disappointing for me in that the devs described the game as having electronic, rock, and orchestral elements. It's possible levels that I didn't get to had more of the rock and orchestral, but all of the levels that I played through sounded pretty much exclusively electronic. Nothing wrong with that, of course. However, they were also quite high energy for the most part, so I wasn't really able to chill and relax while playing, except for at the very beginning. As much as I did enjoy the music, it never really had me dancing in my chair or even bobbing my head or tapping a toe. The tracks are distinct from one another, but they also kind of run together. I certainly wouldn't say the music was bad, it's just not particularly outstanding, in my personal opinion. As far as gameplay outside of story mode, there was a zen mode and a competitive mode. To play zen mode, you'll have to at least start story mode. As you're playing through the story mode, you'll unlock new levels and music, and then you can go to zen and play your favorite levels on an endless loop, or randomize the order in which you play through the levels that you've unlocked so far. On the other hand, if you're more of a competitive player, you'll find leaderboards in the competitive mode and a weekly procedurally generated challenge level to play through. Overall, this is a really short game. You're not looking at a long playtime, at least to complete story mode. If you do find a level that you really like, or if you enjoy randomizing the levels, you could definitely get a lot of playtime out of Zen mode. In the interest of full disclosure, I do want to admit that this isn't the sort of game I'm generally into, but I did have a lot of fun playing, at least until my lack of skill caught up with me and I got frustrated and finally quit. At around $15 USD, Lifeslide is not the cheapest game in this genre, but it's definitely not the most expensive either. Personally, I'd wait for a sale of about $10, maybe less. But if you really like this sort of game, maybe full price. Thank you very much for watching I Dream of Indie, and a very special thank you to the following indie warriors: Mitchell Hall, Kevalo, Bill Tax, Christian Cruz, Strict9, Chris Jackson, Nathan Moore, Peach, Adriana Amato, CJR, Falco Lombardi, C. Coyle, Skeptism, Jen Rose, Jesse, CPM, and Julian Kolbus. Your support helps to bring a voice to the voiceless ones in gaming and to fight the echo chamber.